Yes, sir. Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Radel Jamal. I know I've been going for a minute, but I'm back up in it. So listen, last year was a very dope year for music. I listened to a lot of music and I bought a lot of vinyl. And we're going to get to the vinyl pickups in another video. But this particular video is going to be purely about my favorite albums of 2025. I'm talking about jazz, hip hop, R&B, gospel, everything that's in between. I'm going to talk about that. So without further ado, I'm not even going to hold you. Let's get straight into it. All right, so look, let's get into the honorable mentions. The first album I'm going to talk about, which is the number 6 album on the honorable mentions, is Pastor Mike Jr. Confetti and Conspiracies, the Amen mixtape. So look, I know, Christian, gospel, you probably think I thought this is a hip hop album. I'm a music head. I love music. I'm a music lover, hip hop head. I grew up in church. I am a believer. I love gospel music. That's just me. That's who I am. And on this channel, I'm going to give you me unapologetically and authentically. And so, my sister sent me this album early last year when it was released, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I love it. This is a dope album if you need something to inspire you, to motivate you, to speak to your spirit, heal your soul. This is just a dope, feel-good type of album. If you like Christian music, if you like gospel music, if you're a fan of hip hop and R&B, you get all of that in this sound that he gives you on this mixtape. I like it. I think you will enjoy it if you're open to listen to motivational or Christian or faith-based music. But Pastor Mike Jr. Confetti and Conspiracies, the Amen mixtape. Yeah, this was definitely on my list. This is an honorable mention. All right, so next up on my honorable mention list, we got Andy Mineo, and this album is dope. Look, Andy Mineo to me is one of my favorite Christian MCs of all time. He's dope. He not only does he make good music, but he's a dope MC. And he spits with the best of them. I've seen him on platforms outside of faith-based or Christian platforms, and he's freestyling, getting busy. He's highly respected not only in the Christian hip hop world, but also in the rap world, just in hip hop in general. So I love this album. He got some tracks on here that I love, very creative, very unorthodox and out of the box. Of course, I did review the song he has where he's basically talking about Andre 3000. But this is a dope album. Andy Mineo, the end. He's a spitter, y'all. I love spitters, and he a spitter. If you a spitter, Christian or not, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna give you a chance. But Andy Mineo is one of them ones. All right. So listen, let's get into the next honorable mention. El Mean, Heat the Streets. El Mean is a dope UK R&B artist, signed to Def Jam, and he put out another project this year, and I just love his style. I love his sound. It really reminds me of that 2000s neo soul R&B, just like a music soul child to me in a sense. He has an amazing voice. He's a dope songwriter. I definitely enjoyed this project. Definitely recommend it if you haven't heard it, because it's definitely one of them albums that you're going to enjoy, especially if you're an R&B lover. This is some real good, pure R&B. Next up on my list, and this album came out in November, but I've been banging this album since it dropped. Next up on my honorable mention list is Gabriel Jacoby, Gutter Child. Listen, this album is fire. This album is fire. It be jamming. It got a country, soulful, funky, groovy sound he has to his music on this particular project. He has a unique voice, but I like the way he uses it in the songs he writes with his voice. He's just a dope artist. Lately, I've seen he's been making some videos, and he was like with Justin Bieber. So probably gonna start writing for Justin, but he got some dope songs on this project. It's only eight songs on the project, but I definitely highly recommend it. Gabriel Jacoby, Gutter Child. The next up on my honorable mention list is my GOAT, Nas and DJ Premier Light Years. Now I already know. I already know. Some people feel like the beats didn't live up. And I kind of agree with you. But this album has grown on me since it's been released. And I'm not going to lie to you, my GOAT delivered. And that's all that I wanted. My GOAT delivered. Nas is rapping like the rent is due. And we already know he almost touching a Billy. You feel what I'm saying? That he's wealthy. Nas' pen is undeniable. That's why he's my GOAT. Love it. I love what he's talking about. I love how he's approaching it in the concepts. Like, the song about the graffiti writers, the song he dedicated to the female MCs, the song he talk about sons, it's like another version of daughters. This dude, I mean, Nas is him. This is my GOAT. Now, DJ Premier, that's another story. I do feel like the beats could have been better, could have been. But I also do understand that this album is more of a dedication and a throwback album to like the full elements and the essence of hip hop. So I think this is a good album. Is it a great album? No. Is it a classic? No, not in my opinion. But I do believe this album will age well. And I got this in my favorite vinyl pickups list, and I can't wait to show you what I got. But yeah, Nas and DJ Premier, Light Years, honorable mention. The last honorable mention on my list, Saba and No ID from the private collection of Saba and No ID. Listen to me, y'all. My homie sent me this album, blown away. Production, bars, Saba's rapping like the Renners do, the samples, the collaborations. I highly recommend, if you haven't listened to this album, that you definitely listen to this album. Saba and OID from the private collection of No ID. It is one of the best hip hop albums of 2025, without a doubt. All right, so now let's get into my top 10. Number 10, Wale, Everything Is a Lie. Wale did it. He did it. Not only did he deliver, but I felt like he did it his way. He didn't try to play to trends. He didn't try to be something that he wasn't. We all know Wale could be sensitive. We all know Wale could be moody. And we got that on this album, but he did it and delivered it in a very dope way. This album is definitely about relationships. It's about heartbreak, depression, drinking. I mean, he attacked a lot of different subject matters of like the emotions you go through when your heart is broken or you break somebody's heart. And I feel like he delivered that in a very dope way. It is a sample heavy type of beats, R&B-ish beats, but I feel like he really did his thing. Even the joint he got where it has more of the Afro beat sound, because you know he is Nigerian. I love this album. I was definitely I wasn't say pleasantly surprised, but I was definitely happy for Wale because this album was very much critically received well. He got a lot of praise for it. And I hope that Wale understands that, he feels that, and that this will be something he could build on in 2026. So Wale, Everything Is a Lot is my number 10 favorite album of 2025. Number 9 is JID, God Does Like Ugly. JID is one of them dopest MCs in the game, especially when it comes to mainstream. I think he's differentiating himself from the class of artists that he came into the game with. Lyrically, he's a beast. I mean, he had one of the dopest verses in 2024 on that verse he had with Eminem's song. He dropped that little mixtape or EP before he put out the album where he's going crazy. On this, he's going crazy. He's rapping. He has a dope concept and storyline about basically how God could turn your mess into a blessing. So, you know, it's just very dope, very spiritual. And he got some songs in here that is jamming, like the song he had with Sierra. I like this album. When I say this is his best album, I kind of like the Forever Story better than this, but nevertheless, this is one of the best hip hop albums of 2025. So it's number 9 on my list. So let's get into the next project. Next up is the LA natives. You know, I'm from California. I'm from LA. We got Terrace Martin and Kenyon Dixon, Come As You Are. Now listen, if you love R&B, number 1, you need to be listening to Kenyon Dixon. Kenyon Dixon is one of the homies. I know him personally. When I was doing music, we have done some stuff together in the past as far as shows and everything like that. But he has grown to be a very dope songwriter, number 1. For those who don't know, he has written songs for people that you love. He's worked on the last Justin Timberlake album. He's a background singer for Justin Timberlake. He's one of the Tennessee Kids. He has sung background for many of your favorite artists over the years. Beyonce, Usher, Kirk Franklin. He is vocally one of the dopest R&B singers in the game now. His pen is crazy. His voice is crazy. How he produces his music is crazy. And then you pair him up with Terrace Martin. Come on now. Come on now. Literally one of the best R&B projects of 2025. That's my number 8 on the list. I highly recommend that you listen to it. It's a very dope project. It gives you that LA It's definitely giving you a LA jazz R&B sound. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you don't, then you're gonna figure out what I mean when you listen to it. So that's number 8. Highly recommend you listen to that album. And I am gonna pre-order that vinyl because I gotta have it. You feel me? Next up on my list is number 7, which is Little Simz Lotus. I don't hear enough people talking about Little Simz, and I don't like that. I'm gonna keep it all the way funky with you. Little Simz, even though she's from the UK, she is one of the dopest female MCs on the planet. I'm gonna say that again. Even though she's from the UK, she is one of the dopest female MCs on the planet. If you haven't listened to any of her projects, I highly recommend that you listen to this album, the album before this one, and the album before that. She's working on a great little trilogy here, but she's a dope artist, she's a dope songwriter, she's a dope producer, and she's just a very dope female MC. I love her style. I love this production on this album. So it's just a unique, dope hip hop album, and I highly recommend it. She's definitely uplifting, and she's an inspirational type of artist. You know, she speaks very introspective, and it's just dope, y'all. If you don't know who Little Simz is you've never heard of her music or heard her music, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it, and you will see what I'm saying when I say she is one of the dopest female MCs on the planet. All right. So next up, we got number 6. This is one of my favorite albums of 2025. Rap albums, hip hop albums. Ruben Vincent, Welcome Home. Listen. If you don't know who Ruben Vincent is, he's one of Ninth Wonder's artists, signed to his label, Under Rock Nation. He's a beast, man. I remember when the young dude put out his mixtape, and it had like a Stranger Things theme to it. I remember listening to that. He got this song called like The Water. I was like, yeah, this dude, he gonna grow up to be something to be reckoned with. And sure enough, I've been watching his growth from a youngin' up to like who he is now. It's a very dope hip hop album. It's produced by Ninth Wonder. Some very dope songs in there. It got like a theme of him narrating of him coming back into town from doing music after leaving college, and he's talking to a woman or a girl, one of his female friends, about his journey and why he's back home. It's dope. Highly recommend it. If you love hip hop, man, if you like dope beats, dope rhymes, and dope songs, and just he's a dope MC, he's a dope rapper. You can tell by listening to how he approached this, how he approaches writing these verses and these songs, how he crafted these songs, that he takes this serious. Yeah, he's not just here to stay like an underground artist, that he's really trying to emerge and break through to hit mainstream, but stick to what he does. I appreciate that. It's one of my favorite albums of 2025. That's my number 6. Now we going into the top 5. The top 5 is Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist Alfredo 2. That's my number 5. Need I say anything else? Need I say anything else? Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist dropped Alfredo 2. I also got this on vinyl. That will be on my favorite vinyl pickup list in the next video. Stay tuned. I feel like they delivered. They did it again. Alfredo 1 was already one of them albums that's like in high regard, because I feel like Freddie Gibbs got a very dope catalog so far. His discography holds a lot of weight. Him with Alchemist was something. It's like, okay, if you do it again, you got to make sure you do it right. And he definitely did it right. Beats is fire. The rapping is fire. It's a lot of what Anderson .Paak fire. Just look, hip hop. It's one of the best hip hop albums of 2025, without a doubt, bar none, period. So let's go into number 4. Now, this album was very emotional. I'm not gonna lie to you, this album has a song in here that made me cry listening to it, because you feel every word of the song, but you feel everything that they're trying to get across and emote in this album. And that's De La Soul's Cabin in the Sky. I am a huge De La Soul fan. I love their albums. I'm currently trying to get all of their albums on vinyl. I was able to grab one of my favorite hip hop albums ever but also, which is a De La Soul album, I was able to grab it on vinyl. That's also on my vinyl list out, a vinyl list video coming up next. So, De La Soul Cabin in the Sky. From the intro to the outro, this album is beautiful. Well done. For those who don't know, they lost Dave in the year before. In 2024, Dave from De La Soul passed away. So when I saw that Mass Appeal was doing a Legend Has It and they were going to do a De La Soul album, I was really wondering how they were going to pull this off. And let me tell you something. It feels like this album was made with pure love, with pure respect, with pure admiration for their fallen comrade. You definitely understand the message that they were getting across. It was about loss, it was about love, it's about appreciation, it's about legacy and about brotherhood. It was about family. It's about losing a loved one and then trying to move on. A beautifully, beautifully put together album from top to bottom that it really stuck with me. I've been listening to it since. And there's a song called Cabin in the Sky that just really, yeah, man, it did it for me. And the reason why it did it for me is because when I listened to that song and to hear them talk about losing Dave, how it made them feel, how it made them think about their own mortality. You know, he said, you know, how he wants his family to remember him. It was deep, man. It made me think about my grandfather. My grandfather passed away not too long ago, well, some years ago. And he was my hero. He was my everything. You know, I used to look at him and say, that's what a man is. My grandfather was just, you know, to me, the definition of what a man is. And I immediately thought about my grandpa, how I felt, and I cried. And I'm not afraid to admit it. I cried. And I think it was because there was some emotion that I needed to deal with. And that album and then that song brought it out. And then what really did me in was the next song, which is the last song on the album. The narrator says, meanwhile, up in the cabin in the sky, then you hear Dave checking his mic like, yo, 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 1, 2, 1, 2. Woo. Look, I'm trying not to cry right now. If you haven't heard the De La Soul album, I highly recommend it. If you love good music, if you love good hip hop, if you love a well put together, thought out project, De La Soul Cabin in the Sky is that album. Concept, interludes. It's like hip hop community that they're attached to came together and made sure to pay respect to Dave in a way that will uphold his legacy in a most beautiful and respectful way as possible. The features are dope, the beats are dope, the songs are dope. The album is beautiful. Thank you, De La. I needed that album. Thank you. Rest in peace, Dave. All right, so listen, we're going into the number 3. Number 3, my favorite album of 2025. Number 3, Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper Start Line is probably one of my most listened to hip hop albums of 2025. I also was able to get this album on vinyl. That will be on my vinyl list. Next video. I love this album. I love this album. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't a big fan of Coloring Book, but I liked it. You know, I love the Christian and faith-based theme he had in the music. The Big Day I wasn't a big fan of, and I think the Big Day, it's not that he was talking about marriage the way he was, or he was just highlighting his wife. I think if he would have added a more well-rounded look at marriage, that people could receive it a little bit more. But he was just basically hyped that he got married, and there's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with that. Marriage is beautiful. But that album wasn't well received, and I felt like when I heard that he was putting out something, I was like, ooh, this could be the end of Chance. If he don't deliver with this album, no, he delivered. Let me tell you something. Negro Problems, fire. The song he got about black men aging and dying, fire. But the song that gave me the chills when I heard it, especially being growing up in church, I have uncles in my family that are pastors, been in church my whole life, but that song Letters, if you're a Christian, if you're a believer, you know that's probably one of the realest songs you've ever heard when it comes to from somebody outside of church when it comes to the church. Powerful, amazing, poignant, straight to your face, not holding back any punches. I sent that to my sister, and she was just like, wow, everything he's saying is true. I sent that to one of my best friends who's a pastor, and he was just like, dog, oh my God. He was like, this is incredible. What he's saying is 1000% true. Chance really matured in his sound. You could tell he got more focused. I feel like with this album, Starline, that although he's talking for a more, um, he has a more militant, more cultural message in it. He didn't stray away from who he is, but he is rapping. When I tell you Chance is rapping, he barred this album up. You could tell he wasn't playing. He was like, yo, I'm coming back, but I'm not only coming back just to be coming back. I'm coming back for y'all to put some respect back on my name. And did he do that? Yes, he did. Chance the Rapper Starline, my number 3 favorite album of 2025. I actually went to the concert. He came out here to Vegas. I bought the vinyl. I had to have it. Chance the Rapper is definitely number 3. He did that. All right, so let's get into the top 2. Number 2 on my list is a jazz album by a dope jazz group, Coco Roku. Tough Times Never Last. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're not a jazz lover, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't even know what to tell you. I love jazz. I love jazz music. I was introduced to Koku Roku. My wife's friend got me their first album for my birthday a couple of years ago. I think 2 to 3 years ago. And I didn't listen to her for a while. I didn't know who they were. But she knew I liked jazz. And they was like, and I collect vinyl. So they got it to me on vinyl. I remember one day I was at the house just chilling. And I pulled out the album, put it on. Mine was blown. Mine was blown. I was like, whoa, what is this? I've been getting the albums ever since. They put out a remix album to that album, and I was just like, wow. So when I saw that they were coming out with this album, I had to get it, and trust me, it did not disappoint. Koku Roku is one of the best jazz groups out there. It's a jazz group from the UK, but they're African descent, multiple members, a big group. In the album, so it's like a jazz, but it's like mixed with Afro beats. You got a little R&B in it, but it's a jazz album. They're a jazz group. You get vocals on here, you get the rhythms, you get the jazz riffs, and then you got some dope songs. I was playing this album. This is the album that I played the most out of the entire year of 2025. They got this song on there that I put on repeat, and it's just incredible. It's Koku Roku featuring Deme, called Time After Time. Beautiful song. Highly recommended. They got joints. This whole album is fire. That's why it's number 2. I listened to this album all year long. I was able to get the vinyl. Koku Roku, Tough Times Never Last. Trust me when I tell you, if you love music, listen to that album. If you love jazz music, listen to that album. If you like R&B, neo soul type of vibe, listen to that album. If you like Afro beats, listen to that album. Koku Roku, Tough Times Never Last. Number 2 favorite album of 2025. Now we get into number 1. Number 1 favorite album of 2025. Let God sort them out. Clips. It is what it is. Without a doubt, the best hip-hop album of 2025. Without a doubt. It never stopped out of my rotation from the moment it dropped. We're not even gonna talk about the rollout. The rollout was immaculate. It was perfection. But having a dope rollout means nothing if the album don't deliver. And this album delivered from top to bottom. Even the B-sides or the album cuts hit. The production from Pharrell was A1. Any doubts people had about if Pharrell could do it, go dead that. He did it. Pusha is rapping at a high level. But then we got Malice. Malice is rapping at a high elite level. He's basically rapper of 2025, the rapper of the year 2025. They talk about grief. They talk about losing their parents. They talk about the coke rap, of course, but the way they did it this time around, it just sounds more mature. It sounds more polished. It sounds more focused. It sounds more purposeful. It sounds like a return, but also the beginning of a new chapter. And I'm looking forward to this reunion, and I'm looking forward to more music from them. But this is without a doubt my favorite hip hop album of 2025 and my favorite album of 2025. Congratulations to them for getting the Grammy nominations for Album of the Year, Rap Album of the Year. We're not even going to talk about Chains and Whips with Kendrick. Kendrick probably got one of the dopest verses of 2025 with that feature. That's nominated for a Grammy. The Clips did what they were supposed to do. They did what needed to be done. They came back, they showed up, they showed out, and they dropped an instant classic. And we don't get instant classics a lot, but that album was an instant classic. So there you go, y'all. Those are my favorite albums of 2025. Like I told y'all, I'm a music lover. I'm a hip hop head. I love jazz. I love R&B. I love gospel. That's what I like. I also like country music, and I like some rock too. I like anything that sounds good to me. I'm a rock with. So thank y'all so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Your boy is back. I had to update my system. I did that, so we finna be hitting these videos and giving them to you more consistently. The next video I'm going to do will be my favorite vinyl pickups of 2025. We finna get into my vinyl collection. If you collect vinyl, if you want to get into vinyl, let me know in the comments. The next video will be for you, and we finna take it there. So thank y'all so much. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Peace and blessings.